Welcome back to Market Call. Jason DelVicario has been our guest this entire hour, and now it's time for his top picks. So Jason, let's start. Your first one, Integrated Diagnostics. Why did you choose this one?
I chose it because it checks a lot of the boxes that we look for. It's founder-run, founder-owned. It is the Life Labs equivalent in Egypt. So they are a diagnostics company, medical diagnostics company, with operations also in Jordan and some other African countries. It is also extremely undervalued in our view, trading at around 5 times earnings with a very lofty dividend yield, I think of about 10%. So we own it. We have added to it as it's come down in price here. And we will note that, of course, there are risks involved. Even though it trades on the London Exchange, you're still buying an Egyptian-based business, so that I would recommend sizing that position accordingly. So for us, it's a low conviction position, meaning that it is a 3% equity weight. And that's how we account for the geopolitical risk or currency risk investing in some of these countries. The founder owns 40% of the stock. They have been producing very strong returns on invested capital, and assuming that continues and they're able to continue to execute their expansion plans, we think that investors will be handsomely rewarded going forward.
Okay, next up you have Evolution Gaming. I have to ask, are you a gamer yourself?
I'm not, although my kids are, and although I would hope that they're not consuming Evolution Gaming products, because of course it is online casinos. So it's not a gaming company per se, like say Games Workshop, which is a company that we own shares in, but rather they produce, and they're sort of the back end of these online casinos, which of course became very popular during COVID and is increasing in popularity as opposed to land-based casinos. So you can go online now and play blackjack and roulette. Ontario Lottery Corporation just introduced it, and Evolution is the back end of that. So they provide all of the virtual tables, the technology, and of course online casinos have been legislated favorably now in the United States. I think there's 4 states where it's legal, so there's certainly a lot of green space for them to continue, or white space I should say, for them to continue to grow. If you look at their metrics, their margins, their return on invested capital, their growth, this is one of the best stocks or companies that we have found from that perspective. Founder is still involved. They still run the company, and they are the clear market leader. We really like to own companies that are in a leadership position. We recently added to them in the low 900s, trading at about 28 times earnings, which we think provides investors should provide investors nice returns going forward. So we own it. We've added to it recently, and we think it's a very, very well-run company.
Wow. When I think about online gambling, I think it's almost even riskier than going to a casino, because it seems more algorithms would be at play, wouldn't you think?
It's funny you should say that, because they literally have humans that are at, like, if you go to their website and check out what they do, it's really interesting. And they have studios. They have a studio here in Vancouver. They have them all over the world. They generally have to have studios in the jurisdictions that they're licensed. They do have to be physically in that jurisdiction. So BC or Ontario, for example. But yeah, the dice, they have systems in place to be able to alleviate players' concerns in terms of, like you said, algorithms or play or what have you. But, in poker, you're playing against other people, as opposed to in blackjack, you're playing against the dealer. But that has been a concern, and they've dealt with it. I can't exactly pull the examples in terms of how they've chosen to deal with that risk, but they have dealt with that risk and have, provide an honest product, shall we say.
Fair enough. Okay, let's get to your last top pick. Facebook, as in Meta Platforms. So why did you choose this one?
So I had to sort of bite my tongue earlier when we were talking a little bit about them. So you don't often get to buy shares below fair value without there being some sort of short-term glitch, either a short-term glitch that is company specific or a short-term glitch in terms of just wider economics or the markets. And I think we've got sort of a confluence of a number of glitches for Meta Platforms. They own 4 out of the top 6 social media platforms on the planet. They have something like 3 billion daily users or monthly users. Their usership has been plateauing here, but it is still increasing. Something like 40% of the planet uses one of their platforms on a given day or month. They are extremely they provide investors a very high level of free cash flow, have been growing that free cash flow, very high margins. They don't have any debt. They don't require a lot of capital to maintain and grow, which is what effectively is a website. So the narrative around Meta or Facebook is poor right now, which I think has afforded investors a wonderful opportunity to be able to buy a high quality, predictable business on sale. So trading at about 12 times earnings. What I'll also note is as Meta shareholders, our interests are being increased every day. In fact, Evolution Gaming is also buying back shares, but Meta Platforms is aggressively buying back shares at these levels, which is something that we applaud and would love to see them do more of. So I don't know if it's going to be this low for too long for them to be able to acquire lots of shares back, but it is a wonderful company. And if you can get past the sort of the bad headlines and the bad narratives and really look at the fundamentals of the business, it is a tremendous business that is very profitable. And we recently added to our position at $160.
We keep hearing about the metaverse and all the commercial opportunities that are there within it as well. Where do you see this going, even in the next 5 years, being able to buy an apartment or land in there?
Yeah, personally, I don't get it. But you know, at 46 years old, I'm on the other side of middle age now. My 4 children are, you know, they use Roblox. You know, they are involved with the metaverse in terms of games and what have you. Who knows? I mean, you know, Mark Zuckerberg is a smart guy. They've got 75,000 engineers there. They obviously see something there. We don't want them to be spending too much money and time taken away from their other business lines, but it is very interesting, and they have the free cash flow to be able to do this. So let's see where it goes.